Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today we got ourselves a grocery haul of meat. So went to Costco, and you know, if I would have just went a couple months ago and got this, it would have been a lot cheaper. But for the most part, I spent probably about $50 to $70 more than I would have a couple months ago. But it's still my cheapest bet. My beef at Costco. It's the only place I buy beef at. It's just, unless I catch a good sale somewhere, but that's on roasts and different like types of meat cuts. But for your hamburger meat and for like your steaks and tri-tips, Costco's gonna be, for me at least, my cheapest bet for, you know, a good product at least. So we got ourselves some meat, and then before I get to that, we got just some butter, 2 things of butter. I was running low and I needed to make sure I had butter in the freezer. So usually I wait until Thanksgiving sales, but who knows if there'll be butter for Thanksgiving sales, so I just did it now. And that way I have it. And then if there's sales, of course I'll get it. So, and then I got my cheese. I always have to have my cheese, and this is good in the freezer. So, you know, you can freeze cheese. That's what I do. I just pop it in the freezer. Buy a couple things every month and just pop it in the freezer, and we use cheese for everything. I put cheese on everything. I put cheese in soups. I put cheese on eggs and sandwiches and pasta dishes, and so cheese is like one of my, and then breakfast burritos, and it's one of those things I have to have. Tacos, you know, enchiladas, so salads, it's just a staple for me. And so I always, one of those things I like to stock up and just pop in the freezer. So put these aside over here, and let's get to the meat. Now I buy in bulk so I can divide it up. So let's see, we got New York steaks, but so I'm gonna have to open this up and divide it up, and let's see, I think, so this was in bulk, turned out to be $7.89 a pound. Now that's actually good. It was like close to $10 a pound, so the price has dipped back down a little bit. So, because I looked last month and it was like $10 a pound, even more. And so it's dipped back down to $7.89 a pound, and I got close to 15 pounds for $117. It's not bad when you're talking about how beef prices have been. So I think I can get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, possibly 13 steaks out of here. New York steaks. So that's, I mean, shoot. When you buy it separately, it's now you're getting closer to 9 something a pound than when you do it separately. But in bulk, it's only $7.89. Separately, it's a lot more. A little over 10 a pound separately. So you got some savings there. And then, so this was USDA choice. And then we got USDA prime beef here. This one was my most expensive one. But I liked, this will last me a year because we will eat these sparingly in between our other meals. Like only on the weekends for a barbecue. Like once a month we'll do this. Once a month I'll do a barbecue with a steak, and then a barbecue with the and then one weekend a barbecue with a tri-tip. Maybe we'll do beef twice a week, and the rest like chicken or pork. So it'll last a long time. So, but this is $13.69 a pound. This is ribeye. Ribeye is a great steak to cook on the stove. You don't even have to barbecue it. It melts in your mouth. You do. Look, my husband does this. He cooks the meat for me. And he does a little bit of butter with rosemary, and it's just so delicious, and it just melts in your mouth. And with mashed potatoes, it's good. So we got 15 pounds of beef ribeye, whole boneless USDA prime. So he got the Prime. That's why he paid more. If they had just the regular, I think it would have been cheaper, but they didn't. So let's see. So I think we got 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 in here. We'll see. I'm going to cut it up after this. We're going to vacuum seal it. So, yeah, that was a pretty penny. That's like not a necessary meat product, but it's just, I wanted it. So, and then normally I buy the tri-tip in bulk, but I don't think my husband saw it. He got me this. I told him to get tri-tip, and he got this. I never get this. I always get it in this. Like, you get like 7 of them. So, and it would have been like another, probably $200 for that. So, I'm making go back and look. But yeah, we got this. I'll just divide this one up. Normally, if it was all my kids were home, I wouldn't. I would just freeze it like this, but because it's just 3 of us, I'll divide it. And we got bacon, of course. Bacon prices have gone up. Yeah, we have bacon every Sunday. I do bacon or Saturday we have bacon too, but we do biscuits and gravy every Sunday. So, and then we got our pork chops. And the pork chops, let's see, were $2.19 a pound, so $14 for this. Good deal. So we got, I'm gonna bag them in, let's see, 1, 2, I'm gonna bag them in 3s when I vacuum seal them, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pork chops here for $14, $14.13. So it works out to be like about $1, a little over $1 each. Not bad. And then I have to show you, I render my own beef tallow, but I never will get enough because we like to eat the fat too. So when I get, what's cool is when I get this in the bulk, it's untrimmed. So what it will do is we'll trim the fat, I'll freeze it, and then I'll render that later. And that gives me my beef tallow. But for right now, I already rendered all my fat. I have only a quart jar left. And so in the meantime, until I collect more in the freezer, because I just collect fat strips or even hamburger grease, I save all my fats. And but I don't have enough to render yet. So I buy this beef tallow from Amazon. And I use this to make my French fries. Mainly it's my French fry grease. And then I'll use it for baking and even cooking, you know, grease my pan before I sear a steak, put a dollop of this in there to help it out. So it's by Sentinel Depot beef tallow. I think it ships from Florida. So, but it's pure beef tallow, and I just I have one in the freezer still. And then what I do also when I with my used oil, so I'll keep this for French fries and use it over and over again. Oh, and also fried chicken. I fry my chicken in this, and then but I don't dump my grease out. Eventually, because I'll reuse the grease over and over again, and then but what I'll do is I'll save it and then I'll wash it. You wash your grease in water, so you boil your grease in water, and it separates. So you get clean grease on top, and then I use that to make soap. So it's good soap stuff too. Anyways, there's that. So let's get to dividing our meat up. I already got my Mylar bag separated, and I'll cut this up, and then we'll show you. Start cutting this up. It's gonna be messy, bloody mess. And then after I get all the pieces chopped up, I'll come back and we'll vacuum seal it. Okie dokie. Alrighty, so we'll just get to cutting this up. I'll film a little bit of us chopping this up, and then we'll get to vacuum sealing it. Okie dokie. Alright, so I got my chopping board here. And I like to oil it down first because it just makes it easier to clean the bacteria off, because the board will just absorb the oil before it absorbs the meat, you know? The meat stuff. So put some olive oil on here. Get some olive oil on here, and that way when I wash it, it'll come out cleaner. Be easy. So I'll nice and olive oil it down. There, see, the wood is going to absorb my olive oil and not the meat product. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this up so that's nice and oiled. I got my cleaver here. So let's get this. We're going to do the beef ribeye real fast. Bloody, 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 bloody. Okay. Put this in the trash. Alright, so that's what it looks like, and I'm going to start cutting this up and separating it real fast, and we'll get back to you. Alright, so I'm about done cutting this ribeye. I got a little slice on that one. Okay, so we're just going to cut one at a time, I decided. I was going to do all of it, but then I'd have all this mess. So we're going to just we got this one done. So now I have 14 of them. We got 14 out of this. So, or no, I'm sorry. We got 13 out of this. One of them, I would have had 14, but one of them I cut too thick. I'll show you. Because I don't know why we cut it too thick. So it's like, nice. Look at how pretty these are. Super pretty. So, yeah, this one right here. Look at this. Is like I cut this one super. It's still attached. I don't want to mess it up. Gotta get my knife again. There we go. All right. So I made that like super thick. I guess this is how thick they're supposed to be. But yeah, this is a really thick one. So I could have probably got 14 out of it, but it's 13. So there's those. And now let's get our vacuum sealer out and vacuum seal. I pre-made all these already. So let's do 2 of these in one. And then we'll do 3 in the rest. Because these are pretty huge. I think I should just cut that one in half again. I really do. But like, it's really thick. Oh well, I'll just I guess me and my husband could split it and he can cook it real good. Alright, so we got that. Now let's vacuum seal it. Put that right there. Sometimes it's a little hard to get this thing just right. Push that in there. Turn it around. The curly part you want to curl in. There we go. And let's vacuum seal. And if you vacuum seal it like this, it'll last in the freezer for a long time. The key is to keeping all air away from it. It won't get freezer burned. So as long as it doesn't get a hole poked in this plastic, which sometimes that happens, but from the ice crystals, it'll last for like years. I mean, I don't keep it in the freezer for years, but it could potentially last for, I mean, at least 2 years. I've done it for 2 years, and it's just as fresh as the day I put it in there. I'm going to do it one more time just to give a good seal. And this vacuum sealer overheats, so I have to take it slow. There we go. Okay. See? I forgot. Usually you want to mark it before you put your meat in. But I think it'll work. So we got ribeye. Ribeye. And the date, August 21. There. Got one. And we'll put 2. Number in here, 2, and thick. And my 2 thickest ones are in here. There. That would probably be for like just all 3 of us, actually. Alright, set that aside over here. Then let's get the next one. It's here. There we go. Let's put 3 in this one. 1, 2, 3. You know what? I think, yeah, 3 is good. Let's try to do the thinner ones. Yeah, that's a thinner one. 3. There we go. And that's just what we'll do. I'm gonna vacuum seal all of these. And then we'll start on the other ones. Alright, so we're all done vacuum sealing our ribeye, and I put 3 in each one and then 2 of my thickest ones in one. So, we'll probably have this once a month. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 ribeye meals, and I'll probably be done with it. September, October, November, December, probably by December. Let's say my kids come home. This will last us till November at least. So, then we got the beef loin New York steak. So the New York steak's right here. Let's chop this one up. Then the hard work's done. We got all the hard work done. And just cutting it up. It's a little bit of hard work here. A little bit of hard work here. Trying not to get it on my counter, but of course you do. And so I decided to cut the beef before the pork because, I don't need to cut pork. But if you were cutting pork, always cut the beef first and then the pork, because pork and chicken, both of those have a tendency for food poisoning. Beef, people eat raw sometimes, so it's not so bad. And I don't want to contaminate my beef with pork or chicken, you know. So that's my logic behind all that. I'll still disinfect before I go onto the pork or a chicken product, or even a fish. But my pattern is cut your beef first. That way it's less likely to get tainted with any other bacteria. Alright, so we're going to get this cut up. Okay, so we got all our pieces done here. And I believe I have 14 New York steaks. So, alright, so we're going to get this vacuum sealed. And I'm going to put 3 in each bag and probably 2 in a bag as well, just like the last one. The hard work's done, is cutting it up. Then we just have to do the pork and stuff. So I'll just vacuum seal a couple of them, and then vacuum seal a couple of these. And then I'll skip to the pork. Alright, let's get these. I had to cut a couple of small ones. So we'll get the 3 small ones out of the way. We'll just call that 2. Just call this 2. This one, sometimes I get a little bubble in it, so let's just seal it one more time. There we go. There we go. Let's call this New York. New York. We got 2 of them in here and 8.21. Set this aside. Over here. Okay. Let's do one more for the camera and then I'll do the rest. One, 2, 3. This is good stuff. I was thinking maybe just do a few more with just 2 in there because I don't even eat a whole steak to myself, but I do like leftovers, so. My tower fell. Alright, so we'll come back when we're starting to vacuum seal this pork up. New York. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We ended up with 16 New York steaks. That was actually pretty good because it was like, I forget the total. It was like 100 something. So it was really good. So, not too shabby. We've got to put this away and then we'll start vacuum sealing this pork up. And that's easy because we don't have to cut it. Let's do the tri-tip first. Let's separate that tri-tip first. Let's separate this tri-tip. Get that one done. I made a really big bag for it. Okay, there we go. We're going to just keep one in here. I'm not going to waste a vacuum seal bag because we'll eat one of these right away. We'll do one this weekend. Then we'll just put one in the vacuum seal bag for another time. Which one's the biggest? I'm not sure. Let's save. They look about the same. We'll just do this one for another day. Do this one for another day. I like the uncut ones because I like the fat. You know, I don't like the trimmed ones. The fat's the good stuff. It gives it flavor and it's good for you. Animal fat is a different type of fat. Your body needs animal fat. It's not like the other, oils. Our caveman instinct. We've been eating animal fat since man became man, Start eating meat. Our body's meant to digest animal fat. So out of all the fats I would cook with is the animal fat first. It's just a different type of fat and your body uses it differently. So that's my jazz on fat. Let's get that sealed up. Okay, so these are done. This one's done. This one's done. Yeah, I made that bag way too big. Okay, got these out of the way. Let's get this pork put up. get the pork put up. I do 3-in-1 as well. 3-in-1. Portion them out, you know, however big your family is. So I do 3 and 2s because my kids come over, and they usually come over in 2s, so I can easily have 5 ready to go. So we got 1, 2. Let's do 4 pork chops in one, because sometimes when I do fried pork chops, my smothered pork chops, I like to do extra for leftovers. I'll do 4 pork chops in one. That'll make my big pan nice and full. I'm using my pinky, so I'm touching the meat, but this is my dirty hand, and I'm using my pinky for the levers and stuff, so I'm not touching anything. And then I'm gonna write pork 8, 21, and 4, number 4. Okay. I'm extra careful with this pork. I don't want food poisoning. Alright, so we got 4 in one of them. Let's do... Alright, y'all, so we're all done with that, and we got about 4 meals out of the pork chops, and a good amount of New York steaks. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 good meals out of that. And then another 5 out of the ribeye. So we got a good dent in my freezer here for future meals. But now I just gotta I need to get more tri-tip in the bulk. But my next purchase in meat will be like more pork, and probably I need to get beef bones for make my pho, and also for just regular beef broth, you know. So, and then some hamburger meat to divide up. But we'll do that another time. So, well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll just talk to you later.